So we're here at the Happy Valley Honey sponsored apiary again. We've got the pollen trap this week to take a look at, and we're going to pop it onto this colony. There's a really good nectar flow and subsequent pollen flow as well. So we've never used a pollen trap before. I've never used a pollen trap. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this works. So let me just show you the pollen trap again. So there is another video that I produced showing it close up, but basically we've got the pollen trap which fits inside the Honey Paw ventilated floor. So you need the ventilated floor specifically to be able to use the pollen trap insert, and it comes in 3 pieces. You have the tray that fits on the bottom, and that slides into the main body section, and this has the grid, the double grid, that allows the bees to work their way through, but then knocks the pollen off into the tray below, into the collection tray. So the tray slides into the back of the insert, like so. And then we also have the entrance block, which has these tubes in, which are to allow the drones to be able to get out. If we didn't have this, then the drones wouldn't be able to get through. So we'll pop this on. It needs to go on for around 24 to 48 hours. Any longer than that and you're going to deprive the bees of their pollen, so it needs to be looked at quite closely. So we'll pop it on today, and then we'll come back tomorrow and take a look in the tray, and then depending on how much pollen we've been able to accumulate, we might then take it out. So the plan is to just break down the Happy Valley Honey hive, to pop in this insert, and then to just put it all back together again. We'll do a quick inspection, see how the bees are getting on, and then come back tomorrow and take a look. So I'm very grateful to Paul at Happy Valley Honey for his season-long sponsorship of this apiary. Happy Valley Honey supply the Honey Paw polystyrene Langstroth hives. These are 10 frame brood boxes. This is the clear cover screen. I'm actually warming to them. When I first saw those screens, I wasn't really too keen, but actually the bees build their own bee space between the screen and the frames, and it's actually quite a nice way to look at the bees beneath. They are a bit too flexible and tend to ping the bees off, but as long as you're careful with them, they're quite good. So a nice drawn frame with lots of nectar going into that, so that's good. But one of the things we're really looking for is to make sure that they've got the pollen coming in. So we'll just have a quick inspection. I'm also looking at the bees to see if I can see pollen coming in with the bees, which is also going to be a good sign for us. Aeroplane flying overhead. So this is the colony that we tried to introduce a replacement queen into, but unbeknown to us, they had produced a supersedure queen, and I made the mistake of introducing a new queen into a colony that already had a queen. I don't mind admitting it. It's one of those things that happens. I'm sure most beekeepers out there that have introduced queens will at some point have done exactly the same thing. It's a bit frustrating, but it is just one of those things, really. One of the things we do have in this apiary is a trait with what appears to be most of the colonies, where they are tending to be a lot more defensive than in other apiaries. It's not something that I really enjoy, so we will look to requeen all of the colonies that we've got here. So we've got eggs, and significantly there's quite a lot of pollen coming in into this frame. So I think we can safely put the pollen trap in. The bees have got plenty of pollen that's being stored. Lots of eggs and brood. So the colony appears to have settled down again. In terms of a laying queen, it's a queen right colony, as we would term it. And if left alone now, they should go quite nicely through into the autumn and winter. So with the ventilated floor, we have the insert at the back which pops out. So we can take this out. So we'll just knock the bees off and remove that. Remove the entrance slide. And then we have the pollen trap, which fits in and so what I'm going to do is just knock off all of the bees from the floor, because I don't want to trap any bees beneath it in the pollen trap. So we've got the bees off the floor. And then we're going to fit the pollen trap in, and that slides in like so. Just remove the number, and we can pop that back on the stand. And then we can pop the brood box back on top of the pollen trap. This is the entrance block that fits at the front, so that goes in at the front edge. Like so. So now we can bring the brood box back and place it on top of the pollen trap. So now we've got the new pollen trap insert in place. You can see the bees are now starting to come in with pollen, and they're going into the new entrance where they'll then go up through that grid. So we'll come back tomorrow and see how they're getting on with it. So we're back at the alpaca apiary. It's been a couple of days now since we put the pollen trap in, so we're going to just pop in, suit up, have a look at this pollen trap and see if we've actually been able to collect any pollen from it. So this is our pollen trap hive. We'll just have a look in the tray and see what we've got. So not much in the back tray, but we have got a small amount in the front section of the tray. So that's quite good. We'll take this back to the truck and have a closer look at it. So this is our pollen trap tray, and you can see quite a lot of different coloured pollens, yellows and purples and oranges. The browny grey colour is undoubtedly the blackberries that we have here. There's a dead wasp, which we'll just remove. This is, I guess, a relatively small amount. I didn't want to leave the pollen trap on for too long, because this is our first real experiment with the pollen trap, and there's not really a great flow on at the moment, so I suspect that if we were to put it on earlier in the year, we'd get a much greater response in terms of the amount of pollen that's dropped. But that's quite a nice little amount that we can decant from the pollen trap. I'm going to remove the pollen trap now, so that we can allow the bees to continue to collect pollen for their own use. So although we haven't produced a massive amount of pollen there, It's really interesting to see how the process works, how that pollen trap works, and to see the individual types of pollen that we've got. There must be 5, 6, maybe more different types of pollen that we've collected there. And part of what I'll do is actually take some individual little loads of pollen and have a look at them under the microscope, so we'll be able to identify exactly what they are. I think in future, certainly for next season, we'll be looking to use some more of these pollen traps to produce a commercial amount so that we can perhaps sell it on to health food shops, that kind of thing. I'm going to certainly have a try of this pollen and see what it tastes like. I guess it gets sprinkled on cornflakes or something, so we'll see how it goes. My thanks to Paul at Happy Valley Honey for supplying all of the equipment that we're using at this apiary. Please do take a look at his website, and I'll put all of the usual links down in the description below. And don't forget to take a look at our Patreon page, which is where you can help support us create more content and have access to a range of different rewards in return. We'll catch up next time, but for now, thanks for watching.